Hi my loves, welcome to my channel. I am Shonda, and in today's video I'll just be talking about a little bit of everything, so we're just going to get right into the video. And oh, by the way, I'm on day 14 today, if you're interested. Alright, we're going to get right into the video. Today I'll be talking about simple living and what I have done, I guess, within the last year to kind of simplify my life and things like that. And I'll kind of touch on things that I no longer buy, or things that I buy to not buy other things. So yeah, I mentioned in my video where I talked about 5 things, or I think it was 6 things that I think are worth the money. 2 of the things that we have gotten, one of them I didn't mention in that video, but the first one is we bought a dishwasher. Now, some would say you can wash dishes on your hand and things like that, and to be honest, I just didn't feel like doing all that, to be honest, because there's so many options to choose from, and there's just things I can do to not have to wash dishes on my hand. And I would say that we bought a dishwasher that was pretty pricey, but I feel like that's just one of them things you pay a lot to make your life simpler. Yes, it may cost a little more, but it's a one-time purchase, hopefully, and you know, it makes your life easier. So now I just kind of get the dishes together and I put them in the dishwasher. I do have to load the water and things like that, but that's the first thing. The second thing is we had at every apartment or place that we've ever lived at, we've always had a, what's it called, washing machine. This apartment, we don't have a washing machine, but my very first apartment by myself, I bought a portable washing machine, and I just never threw away that washing machine. It was at my grandparents' house, so I just kind of asked them, hey, do y'all have that? And they brought that over here. I would say that purchase wasn't that much because it's a portable washer, but I bought it years ago and we still use it now. And I would say that that has made our life easier because now we don't have to go to the laundromat, which my son he didn't like going to the laundromat. That's all I'm gonna say. So that has made our life easier so that we don't have to leave the house and stuff to go wash clothes. And what's another thing that we've done to make life easier? A lot of the things I did mention on that video about things worth the money. Of course, the air fryer. You know, if you don't feel like cooking, that has made our life easier. And honestly, you know, it's more convenient. What's other things? So clothes wise, I would consider us a minimalist. Now, we can get other clothes and things like that, but my husband and I, even my child, we pretty much wear what we have. Like, the clothes that we do have are clothes that are comfortable. We prioritize comfort in this household, so any clothes that we do have, we definitely wear our clothes. Now, I do plan to expand my wardrobe, but I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like, I'm one of them people, if I find a type of style or pattern or color that I like, I'm going to get that color or a variety. What is it called? I want to get some type of variant of that color. So since I love gray, well, I love a specific gray, but I have always been a lover of wearing black. So a lot of my clothes will be black. I'm not really a neutrals person. I don't like to wear a lot of white for obvious reasons. And now I have a child, so it just does not make sense. But yeah, like simplifying our clothes and not buying clothes just to say we have clothes just sitting in the closet. Now, to each their own. Buy what you want, and do what you want with your paycheck and your money. But yeah, so we're gonna see if I can think about anything else. Oh, I don't think. Oh, okay. So since we have the washer, I almost forgot. We have the washer, and we did have a portable dryer, but we ended up selling that. But we ended up buying like a clothes rack that goes inside the apartment, and that has been, that has served us pretty well. So yeah, we don't. I did mention a while ago, probably a few months ago, that we don't get extra toys and toys that my child does not play with. We just don't think that is necessary and things like that. So our child have his toys that he play with, and honestly, he don't even play with these. I'm getting ready to do what is it called, declutter and things like that, so I can either donate clothes and any toys that I feel like I can sell or donate. They'll either go on Depop or go to the Salvation Army or any other thrift store around me, because I feel like if I'm not using them, they can go to someone that can use them. So we're going to get into the next topic of discussion. So this topic is something that I don't currently, I haven't currently incorporated into my life, which I'm shocked I haven't, but that is habits. Like I mentioned before, I am interested in a lot, and I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good at a lot of stuff, and I think that's the problem for me. Like, I'm actually good at stuff and things like that, but I did share one of my hobbies, and another one I don't plan to make content on, but I showed you guys my drink making skills. I do plan on doing content in the near future on drink ideas, and some of the ones that I've done short form videos on, I plan to also, compound together to make like a full video of my favorite matcha drinks and my favorite coffee drinks that I've made over the last few months. And yeah, I'm very excited about that. So I haven't made coffee and matcha drinks in probably 2 or 3 months now, but I do plan on revisiting that hobby because I really, really have a passion for that, and I love it. And that's something I would love to make content on, and I know that there's a lot of people on here who really love that type of content, and I love it. Like I said, I'm gonna start doing things that I genuinely love, and once I do that, my community will come here on YouTube. I just prefer to create from that perspective and from that point, because I feel like if I'm just creating content just to grow on YouTube, I'm not going to be fulfilled. So I'm going to approach it from that perspective from now on. So yeah, drink making. And another thing that, like I said, I don't plan to make content on, but I may make a business doing this in the future, and that is room mock-ups. So with this, I pick out a color palette, or I usually have a color palette in my mind, and I kind of figure out what type of bed I want to, what type of furniture I want, and then I build from there. So I pick out the color of furniture, and then I pick the textiles, like the bedding and carpet and things like that, and like curtains and things like that. And that has been something I really love, and I plan to keep that one to myself unless I, feel that a business, I feel like I want to create a business doing that and sharing it with you guys. I'm not sure. I probably will do the business. I'm not sure if I'll share it just yet, but be on the lookout for that. Another thing I mentioned also before that I do plan on sharing here on my channel is gardening. I really, you can ask my husband, for the last, probably since we've been married, I've been talking about doing a garden and making a garden, and we've been married for almost 6 years. So I've been talking about having a garden probably a little bit longer than that. But there's a lady I really love. She passed away probably last year or the year before last. She was connected to my dad, and she really loved gardening. And I mean, though she probably lived a life I don't really, agree with, I feel like her love and just how she loved me so authentically, and I can't explain it. She just was a beautiful person. Not perfect, but a beautiful person. And that's something that, one of her passions that I feel like she passed down to me. And cooking. I did learn how to cook from my dad, my uncle, and her. They are phenomenal cooks. I haven't met nobody who cooked like them ever in my life. I can cook really well, but I haven't met nobody that can cook better than these three people in my life. That's just that. But I got gardening from her, and I just love how her connection to gardening was a beautiful one. And I feel like I just love the idea that I can plant a seed and it grow into something. And that's just my personality. I feel like I can make something out of nothing, really. And I kind of get that trait from the Lord as well. I feel like I can make something out of nothing. And I feel like gardening is the perfect hobby for people like that. For people who want to grow something from a seed, something that looks like nothing, and grow it into a beautiful flower, food for your family, and just things like that. I don't have a desire to have a farm per se, because that's just a lot of work. I'm gonna just be so for real. But gardening is something that you guys will see in the future on this channel, because I really love gardening. And I love the idea of me being able to grow things that me and my husband and my child like, and I'm feeding my family from my hands, from the garden that I grew on my own and things like that. And yeah, is there any more hobbies that I plan to share? I can't think of anything else that I for sure want to do. Oh, scrapbooking. That's the last thing. But I saw this idea, and I did get it from Pinterest. I saw this idea of modern scrapbooking. I love scrapbooking, period, because I did grow up in a family who kept photos from childhood. My mother has a childhood photo. Well, my grandmother has a childhood photo of all of her children, including my mom, from when they were like 5 or 4. I just think that's so beautiful to be able to look back at snapshots of certain time frames in someone's life, even if I don't know them. I found myself looking through, if I meet somebody or if it's a friend of the family, I just love being able to look at someone when they were a kid. I just love that. I don't know. I plan on getting into scrapbooking, and it's it's the modern scrapbooking, and of course I love black, grays, white. So my scrapbooks will be those color themes and more leaning more on a, what's it called, preppy, classy style of a scrapbook. So I do plan on doing that. Now, will I share it? Y'all might see it in my content, but would I make specific content for that? Not sure. I don't think so. It will be included in my content, but making designated videos for that, I don't think so. But yeah, that's the last thing as far as the hobbies that I plan to pick up, and I have shown like serious interest in. So yeah. So the last subject I'll be talking about is deep diving into what I'm actually doing to stay focused. One thing I will say is that I've been deepening my faith. I don't want to, moving forward, I don't want to go into things that just don't align, and I'm actually seeking the Lord to reach down into me and remove things that are inside of me that doesn't help my future and doesn't help me being productive. So I'm actually searching myself with the help of the Lord. I'm not self-sufficient. Let me just say that. I don't know if I said that, but I am, seeking and allowing the Lord to counsel me in this. But I'm also doing the things that I say I'm doing. I'm actively showing up. I'm actively, I'm just being active, proactive. Even like when I say that I'm going to do something, I'm actually doing that. I'm actually looking at the steps that I need to pursue to bring everything that I want and everything that I say I'm going to do into fruition. So yeah, seeking the Lord and actually doing what I say I'm going to do, and showing up, being present, showing up imperfect, showing up tired, showing up, just showing up. And yeah, so I think that's all that I have for you guys today. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow. Peace.